Bezier Games was back at Gen Con this year. We always have enjoyed their games in the past. Suburbia, Terra, they do the werewolf games, of course, among others. They had a couple of new ones we got to try. I'll start off with the one that only I played, but you might as well have played, which is America.
Right, and we were talking about this before. I think it's on both of our list of exciting things we wanted to see. Mostly because last year we played Terra and loved it.
Yes, this is based on the game Terra. They're both trivia games with kind of a twist. They're all the questions are all numbers or locations, and you answer the questions by placing cubes on the board closest to what you think the correct answer is. So even if you don't know exactly, if you're adjacent to the right answer, you'll still get credit. And so that's kind of how it works. The first one was all about the global world, as you know, the global world. This one, as the name implies, America only.
I'm just curious. They have Hawaii and Alaska on there, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
And they are considered adjacent to each other if you put cubes there.
Okay.
Other than
where is a polar bear? Hawaii.
Close enough. And you can't, if we didn't say, you can't pick the same spot as someone else. So, like, if you all knew it was Hawaii, everyone can't get full credit.
So you can get Alaska.
Yeah, it's only one other person can. Other than that theme, it was pretty much identical to Terra, but I will say, I kind of enjoyed this one a little more because...
Well, I was actually going to bring this up.
Of why I think...
Because I've seen this come up with other games, and because you just, by focusing it just a little bit, especially for this audience, we're speaking for an American audience, and for other countries, if you focused on, like, just Germany or whatever, it sort of makes it a little bit easier, more enjoyable for you. Now, the one thing I don't know if this is in here. Mm-hmm. You tell me if otherwise. I think they should include some blank cards for you to write questions in there.
Oh.
This is why. Because this is a game you could take with your family, play with people, not just with your game group. So you can put something on there. Where is Gen Con?
That could be in there. I don't know. Well, I don't think there are blank cards in the game, but I did hear them talking about their planned expansions.
Right.
So that maybe they could add that for the.
But a nerd expansion actually would be really cool.
And that's the other thing. This game has more pop culture stuff in it. So some of the categories that we had were The Walking Dead, roller coasters. Breaking Bad was one of them. Toy Story, much more.
And I think that was the kind of stuff I think would also be very hilarious to see be like, oh no, I know where this is. Oh yeah. God, I know where this was filmed.
I was really happy because it was like the year Toy Story came out, and I was the first player, and I was like, I know that answer. I'm there.
Where the other players just like
everyone else was like, oh, of course he took because everybody knows that. Or don't. So, but super fun. I think it really just is your preference as to which version you like.
We like Terra. Even though I didn't play it, I'm sure I'll love this.
Yeah.
If you like fun trivia games, I'm sure both of these will scratch that itch.
The other big one that they had was Colony.
Mm-hmm.
This is sort of, I say it's in the family of the dice building genre.
Speaking of which, we're seeing that a lot.
We seem to be seeing a lot of the dice building, and specifically when something costs different numbers of dice.
We're seeing like, roll your dice. Do you match that symbols? No. Well, you have things to change your results so you can match those symbols.
Yeah, that's our called trend of this year's Gen Con. Hashtag it. So there will be nothing there when I do that. So in the idea of Colony is you're all building colonies, basically.
It's pretty much like a post-apocalyptic. You're building your return city.
But
there's a settlement in need of help.
Yeah, that theme is pretty light. You really aren't.
It's really the mechanic,
which is, I think, pretty solid. As we said, you roll a certain number of dice each turn. Everybody in turn order gets to take one.
Well, yeah, we should say that this was the interesting thing. So you all start with basic cards. This is actually applied like Machikoro. You have basic cards
or Dominion.
Because people call Machikoro like Dominion, in which you buy things that which will give you better results depending on what you roll or more dice. Mm-hmm. But the cool thing is there are two kinds of dice: unstable and stable resources, that's what the dice represent. Mm-hmm. You roll 3 stable ones, and then I look at them and I'm like, I want a 6, so I take the 6. But the other 2, I give it to the next player, so that would be you.
I'd be like, oh, I need a 4, so I'll take the 4.
And then the next person takes the last one. And if you play with more than 3 players, I play with 3, but this can go up to more. Mm-hmm. The 4th person's like, I get nothing.
Right. Yeah, I played with only 2, so the first player actually got 2 dice.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. And then there's those frosted dice, as you said, which are the unstable. Right?
Pretty much certain cards may give you unstable dice.
They're temporary. You can't
but
store
you
them.
Store them. And that's the thing, next thing. You can actually store dice. So if you're unable to really buy anything, you have a little bank. And you get to put your dice there. So next turn when you roll, and you're like, finally, I have 3 6s and 2 2s.
Kind of also a little bit like Roll For It. Other games have done this kind of thing. This is definitely more in-depth than that.
Yes.
I really liked it.
Yeah, and what happens is you buy certain cards and they give points. And what's the cool thing is you also can upgrade your cards. They flip over to a stronger
that
side.
too. Every
which
card
can
is
give more
upgradable.
Points. Now, this is where things get interesting because you were here for this. Hilarious to watch. The catch-up mechanic. So let's say the way the game ends is like first to 16 points for 3 players. It's
a number of players.
Let's say I was at 15 points, really close, which in that game actually was.
And I'm at 9, right?
Which what Neil actually was.
Yeah.
So what you can do is you can give up one of your cards, including the ones that don't give points.
If you have to be a certain number behind the player in lead.
No, you just have to be behind.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought it was 5 behind.
They didn't say that to us.
It's one or the other, so...
Either way, you probably wouldn't do it unless you're 5 behind.
Yes, true.
But you discard that card, and what you do is you look at the difference between you and the first player, and you get that many stable dice in addition to roll. So Neil, who was 9 behind me, discarded a non-pointer, got 9 more dice in addition to all the dice he had, and then just bought so much stuff he actually beat me. It was hilarious to watch.
It was kind of ridiculous.
The other guy who we were playing with was just like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, no, it was really crazy. So, and I didn't actually get to experience that, but just from seeing it and hearing about it.
It also worked because he happened to roll perfectly. He needed a lot of 6s and 2s, and he just happened to get. But to watch was just the greatest thing ever. It's one of those times where, when you play a game, you feel hilarious, whether you win or lose, just because something amazing happened.
Yeah, it was one of those. I don't think it was a Hail Mary. Maybe it was, but it was.
No, it was because if he didn't get
right,
he just got enough.
Yeah.
He literally just got enough to get 16. If he didn't, it was my turn next. I need to buy one thing.
So it was pretty exciting.
It definitely, this isn't going to be a game for those who really hate luck, because, while you push it in your favor. Because I know people who don't like Marvel or like Legendary because
if you don't like dice, you won't like it. But from my point of view, I think there's enough to
and we should mention
mitigate that.
This plays like Dominion. Actually, the game to me, which reminded me a lot, was actually Arctic Scavenger, I believe is the name of the game. And I swear, if you open the box, you'll think it's the same game.
Okay,
but the way is there's some basic ones that are always out piles, and there's actually. Those, I think there's always the same number. But then you choose some random ones. They have, 20 different groups. So a lot of cards, different types of cards. One of them actually is FL, the Friendly Local Gaming Store.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
But you only put a number for each player. So, 3 of each for us. Which is interesting, because what actually happened is one of the cards was extra vault space. And Neil and the other player bought it. So I was like, I should buy that before they buy it because there's nothing.
Right, there's a limited number of each card type, so someone could monopolize and buy all of one card.
Well, that's actually what happened.
Yeah.
And another thing, I started monopolizing the trade thing. So we're like, guys, I want to offer a trade, and what I'd do is I wouldn't make a different trade. I'd be like, you're 2 for my 2, but because the cards I have, once we do that trade, we both get a 6 and a 2.
So all the things were bouncing off of each other.
Yeah, so I just made these delicious trades.
And then there's also the pirate card, which actually lets you attack other players.
Right, and that was another funny thing, which considering.
Yeah.
As soon as he bought the pirate card, I bought the fence and upgraded it.
Right, which is your protection against that.
So I was just like, try me. Neil never did anything. So he's like, I roll pirate. Thanks, Neil. Neil's just. I accept my fate.
And there's a lot of different cards. We did not see all of them, but every time you play, there's some that are set always, and some that are random. So there's going to be a lot of variety. The box, it looked like, was a nice insert to hold all of them, which
unlike
like.
some games we've been noticing around,
you
actually have the right size box for all the components.
That's correct. So yeah, this was pretty fun. It kind of reminded me a little bit of their game last year, Favor of the Pharaoh, another sort of dice.
But this really plays more.
Mechanic.
To me, this one plays a lot more on just getting a lot of dice.
Yeah,
and that one was more
different, but
yeah,
but similar in some ways. But super fun. Definitely enjoyed it, and from a couple of
It
designers.
definitely another thing I would like about it
That I like.
because it was definitely obvious, especially with Neil's Hail Mary at the end. You definitely can go your own way with strategy. Like mine, what I was going for was to get it so every turn I'd get unstable 2, 3, and 4. Because with that, I get a free upgrade every turn.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of different paths, and that is one of the things I think. Definitely, this is a game that would benefit from multiple playthroughs. Only so you kind of have an idea of which combos you like. Because starting out, there was a lot of. There's so many numbers of dice in these cards. I have to spend 10 minutes just figuring out what I can buy right now. But that's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, overall, once we learned it, because we actually sat there for a while until someone came and taught us. Enjoyed a lot for a 3-player game. Very curious to see how forward work, because once again, that no person getting dice. And like, I don't even know what your experience was when the first player gets 2. That's really a big deal.
Yeah, it was interesting. It went back and forth in an interesting way. But that's Colony. We liked it, and that's Bezier Games. We liked them.
We always do. We got plenty more Gen Con news coming, so you better stay up to date at Roll4Crit at Twitter, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and just subscribing right here.
And, of course, you can find us on our very own website, roll4crit.com/GenCon2016 for all our videos, photos, and more. Stay tuned.